All right, it's the 19th of July, 2017. We're going to take a quick look here at NIWU, CRK, and FGPS and FRACK here. So first up, looks like we have a nice source. Ticker is NI. The technicals are a little unattractive here. Look at price action. Looks like, let's see here, so we have a bullish ascending channel that's present. Prices look a little overbought relative to that actual channel. We're trading laterally to work off those overbought conditions. If you look at the volume here, looks like the little climatic might be a buying climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. This would be a sign of weakness, and this would be a last point of supply. Reason being is that we have lost this level of support. We did so with increased ease of downward movement on supply here. Finding support here on the 50-day simple moving average, but as we rally higher, we're doing so with no participation. There's no buyers here. You can see that demand's contracting. Looks like there's supply in the downswings, and we're trading at this prior level of support here. Might be confirmed this is resistance. If that proves so, this is the last point of supply. Might not find some participation until we come down through this prior consolidation around $24. There's no relative strength here, some weakness. The sector has actually been declining here, no participants. Index has been holding its own. So I think NI, from a trading standpoint, at this point in time, favors a short trade and just retire. I think we're probably going to see some more consolidation. But I think we reject this and we at least retest those here at 25. Next up is Western Union. I like this chart a lot, but it just has not performed. And the fact that we've had a lot of cause and there's been plenty of opportunity for it to rally and it's failed to do so is a bearish observation. But what do we have is we lost this level of lows, right? We washed out this level of support here with a very bearish session here on increased ease of downward movement with a lot of supply. And we kind of are in the process of remaining above this prior level of support here. So I still like this trade, but I have withdrawn from it because I don't like how prices are remaining below this previous level of support. In other words, this level of support appears to be the current level of resistance here. It looks like supply is contracting, but even on these retests here, it looks like demand is withdrawing. So in the absence of any buyers here, I'm just not interested. So if prices actually rally back through this level of previously established support, and then we back test it, and then we confirm it as support, then it's something that I'd be interested in discussing a little bit more. But right now, I'm neutral. It's broadening its base, but it is not showing me any confidence here. No relative strength, specifically when the sector's been doing well and the index is starting to see some participants. Western Union's been flat and remain above this previous level of support. So I don't think that's a favorable position here. If we look at the next chart, which is going to be CRK, let's see here. Looks like this one is CRK. Let's look at CRK. So CRK, I think, is in a decent position here as far as the technicals go. It's pretty neutral. We have a little, we're kind of losing some momentum here. But that said, we're withdrawing here. So we have some, buying climax with a breakdown here, a little sign of weakness, rally higher, might be last point supply. This is another potential sign of weakness. As we wash out that level here, we're rallying back. We're confirming this prior level of support as resistance here. And then now we're kind of consolidating. So there's a lot of supply that emerges. Might be even a selling climax. Here's our automatic reaction, potentially secondary tests. So we may have a temporary stopping action, which would put us in phase A. Now here we have an actual spring, so we have an established level of support. We broke down, we tested this level, and as previously discussed, there's a lot of supply here. On this breakdown, we can appreciate there's not a lot of sellers. So it actually is a pretty valid spring, and we should see prices, rally out of this. At the present time, they failed to do so. That's a bearish observation. But I think from a trading perspective, this is an easy long, and I would just probably put my, my stop loss below this previous spring. But that's still some downside there. You're looking at, otherwise, I don't see a lot of demand. I can't say that demand's overcoming supply. I guess the only bullish thing is that supply is contracting, which is why we're kind of trading laterally. We're building cause. That's going to take some more information to look at. I will say that as we're building cause here, there's no relative strength. The sector is seeing no participation here. And then the index is actually performing pretty well. So as the index is performing pretty well and it's staying flat, this isn't one of the It's just not outperforming. I'm not interested in it. Next up is ANF. I've liked ANF. Man, they washed out here. Uh, I had a previous alert here suggesting, hey, look, if we break above this 200-day, to buy it, and then if it confirms it as support, to buy it, or to buy a dip. But they've even washed out this previous level of support. So I do not like ANF until we rally above this level of support, and then we confirm 1050 as resistance. Otherwise, as far as I'm concerned now, this is it looks climactic, but we don't have a stopping action, right? We have a selling climax. There's no automatic reaction. There's no secondary tests. So that tells me there needs to be some more consolidation. But even then, prices should rally above this $11 zone, which is where support has been, confirm that as support, and then I could make an argument that we measure this cause and speculate on upper price projections. Otherwise, again, there's better trades out there. We have no relative strength. The sector is kind of flat here, and the index here is just not performing well. And then we have GPS. So let's look at GPS real quick. GPS, actually the technicals are actually pretty well here. We're seeing some higher highs, but we're seeing that also in price action. The STO actually is in the upper range here and may actually provide a better entry if it rotates down, and we can kind of buy that crossover for bullish momentum here. But as far as the price action goes, we do have an established level of support. Prices broke down very abruptly, expanding volume, and quickly reversed. That's a good sign that there's some buyers, and we can actually see that prices have traded through this level of resistance here, and they're in the process of backtesting, confirming that prior resistance as support. We can see there's not a lot of supply, so it's actually a pretty good startup for a trade here. So I'm pretty bullish here on GPS, on Gap. So long as we kind of hold or maintain this $23 price target. We have a hint of relative strength relative to the market. When we look at Gap relative to the index, it's actually an outperformer here. We have some relative strength, but the index has been underperforming. So the fact that Gap has remained pretty flat, they're tolerable, and made a few higher highs, it's going to reflect that there's some strong relative strength relative to the actual index. But the sector is seeing no participation here. Of these, though, the last one up here is FRACK, King Group. And let me actually change the time frame here. This is a year. Let's just make it 6 months. Update, see what we have. So I think this is a pretty good chart here. So we have some consolidation. We have a washout here. I can't really say this is a lot of volume, but then we quickly trade back above it, and then we back test it here. We don't have a lot of supply that comes. It's a higher low. And now we have the expansion of some volume. There's some demand coming. And then we back test, confirm this 50-day simple moving average as support, which was a prior level of resistance here. And we're attempting to rally through here, and we're closing at highs. It looks like this might be the highest close that we have in, 5 months or so. So I think this is very bullish. FRACK may actually break out here. I think this is a good trade. I'd set a stop loss below the 50-day simple moving average. We have a hint of relative strength relative to the market and to the index. The sector has been pretty flat here the last 6 months, and the index is seeing some participation. So of the trades that are here, I definitely like FRACK.